I forgot to open up the chat. Open up. There we go. Oh, it wasn't logged out for once. Let's go.
Oh.
All right. Are you ready to get started?
I will be as soon as I make sure. Yep, that's on. All right, cool. Yep.
All right. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to a brand new episode of That Video Game Podcast, aka TVGP. I'm your host, Boston. I'm joined as always by the Nymph.
Hello.
Moon is off this week. He's busy yet again. I'm hoping we'll be able to see him next week. He's doing well otherwise, so no one... I wasn't doing well otherwise this week, which you can definitely hear about in the Outcast for patrons over at e1m1.cash.
The ones are numbers.
We talk about this a lot. Go through it really quick. Exclusive, uncensored episodes like the Outcast. We're talking about all the other stuff that's going on in our week, like our brushes with death this week. I wish I was exaggerating. You get early access to We Roguelike It and Critical Misses. You get exclusive access to the Critical Misses production meeting, the kind of fly-on-the-wall production stuff where we're talking about planning additional seasons and doing psychic damage on each other. And then the Supernatural TV show Watchcast, The Wayward Sons, that Moon and Nymph are going through. All of that and more, if you would like to support us as a listener, over at e1m1.cash.
The ones are numbers.
Quick plug here. We have a brand new episode of Game Club, our last game for Game Club of the year. We played Journey. That's going to be out on the feed alongside this episode as well. We had a fantastic discussion about Journey there. And then next month, we're going to do Game Club of the Year, our ranking episode like usual. So we're gonna have that around the same time, middle of the month for December. So check that out. Both of those episodes are gonna be really great. So check them out there. All right, I think that's it for all the production stuff. So Nymph, what have you been playing this past week?
I just want to throw this out here real quick because Moon hasn't been on. You sure there's no extra We Roguelike It or any other?
We're playing Hades 2 on We
pretty
Roguelike
good?
It, so like things are going great over there.
I'm saying Moon just hasn't had a moment to be like, ah.
That's true. That's true. He hasn't had a chance to be my my memory here.
Yeah. But so this week, I actually played more than I thought I was going to. I'm going to start off with Ghost of Yotei.
Oh, okay.
Halfway through this week, I kind of just started messing with a couple more side stuff, and eventually, all of a sudden, I got like the title splash screen of, "Hey, you're in Chapter 2 now."
Oh.
I was like, "Oh, I've been playing for like 40 hours, and I just hit Chapter 2."
Right.
So it's like, I spent a lot of time doing too much. So what happens with Chapter 2? So Chapter 1 is because I looked this up. Chapter 1 is a long chapter. It's got, I think all together, there's like 15 like main missions in this game. And most of them are in Chapter 1. Chapter 2, there's like one or two main ones, and the last main one for Chapter 2 takes you directly into Chapter 3, and then it's endgame.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I have beaten Ghost of Yotei now.
Oh, my. Okay.
Yeah, so you do get the whole thing. I'm not going to get into any spoilers with anything story related, but you do get to a point where it's like, okay, hey, go here, talk to this person, and when you do, you get like this giant screen that pops up that says, "Hey, this is the point of no return. If you got anything to wrap up, go do it now. Or if there's anything that you want to wrap up, go do it now. You will not be able to leave or access specific areas until this mission has been completed. You will be able to come back to stuff afterwards."
I'm so happy more games have been saying, like, we've had the like point of no return stuff for a while, but I'm really happy that they're like, you can keep playing after you're done. Because even still, there's some games are like, no, you're done. Like you can't go
Yeah.
back into the game. You finish the game.
So I had already completed everything that I was aware of that I needed to do anyway. So I'm like, cool, let's just ride this out.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that this game hit me with two bittersweet moments.
Okay.
One on a side mission that I came across by accident, just exploring.
Mm-hmm.
You find out, this is like a slight spoiler, but not towards the main game. You do eventually find out what happens to Jin from the first game.
Oh wow. Okay. Interesting.
I was like, okay, that was cool to have closure on that, some sort
Right.
of closure on it. And it's really cool what they did with all that. Then you get to the end of this game, and I'll probably get more into it for the game of the year, but there is definitely a point of, hey, revenge isn't all that it's cracked up to be, and you should probably stop.
Right.
And I'm like, no.
Nothing's stopping
Like,
this train.
Revenge is what we're here for.
Right.
Revenge is what we're going to do.
Right.
And things happen, and then I get credits.
Mm-hmm.
But the ending was, for this game, was kind of bittersweet as well. And you do get a nice little time skip into the future, and then your basically events happen, and then it's like, okay, let me tell you a story of what else happened
Oh, interesting.
before everything came to its eventual conclusion, and then you're brought back to the point before you finished the fight, basically. And it was just a really cool way of introducing that, where it's like, all right, cool, now we're back here, and you can keep telling your story of
Yeah.
what else happened in this world.
That's cool.
So yeah, I'll get more into it for the game of the year, because that's all spoiler territory stuff, and I'm trying to be extremely vague about this game.
Especially because it's still new.
It is, and I've seen that a lot of people like beat it really fast. I'm just the guy that was like, well, there's a tree that looks like a different color over in this direction. Let's go see what that looks like.
I'm gonna take my time.
So after beating the game, I did finally look at the trophies to see. It's like, okay, what do I have left to do to get the platinum for this? I was only short, I think, like 10 trophies, and they were all like collection trophies.
Okay.
And they were all like, okay, I just missed like 2 or 3 things, and then I would have gotten the trophy for it.
Dang, that works.
So, yeah, so I didn't use a guide at all. It was a lot of me just exploring. There are songs that you can play, a la Wind Waker, where it's kind of like, hey, I want to know if there's any bamboo practice stands here. You play this one particular song. If there is in that region, the wind will just start to blow you in the general direction of where it's located at.
That's
and
cool.
It's still on you to find it.
That's a good way of handling it.
Yeah, and there's for the shrines, for fox dens, for wolf dens, like there's a song for vanity armor, like just random vanity armor that's in the world. So I didn't use any of those. Mine was just purely, okay, I just want to walk around, explore, and just find stuff.
Right.
So I was really surprised that I got as many as I did.
Yeah.
Especially since how huge this game feels. So I had an absolute blast with this game. I really enjoyed it. And it was definitely one of those cool, I beat the game, I got the platinum for it. I'm just going to sit here and take a beat for a moment.
Right.
Just kind of revel in everything that happened. And
yeah.
The way they left this off, they kind of did it the same way that the first game left off, where everything has been closed out, but they could continue on a story with this character. Or they could do what they did like with this one, where it's like, if they make a third one, they can make it a completely different character kind of thing. But they've left it so that there is closure, but there's the availability of a possibility kind of thing.
Yeah, there's like enough of an opening that if they announce another one with her, you'd be like, okay, cool, that makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Ghost of Yotei is a really good game. If you have not played it, or even Tsushima, if you haven't played the first one either, I would highly recommend both games. Definitely play the first one first, obviously, but
yeah,
just a ton of fun. Especially once you start getting more into like the And this is kind of the thing that I slowly started thinking with my mind, because the story for Assassin's Creed Shadows and this are almost identical.
True.
Like,
Yep. The
it's like
revenge
the
tale.
legally distinct,
Right.
we have the Yotei 6 here, and over here we have the circle of 10 shadows that we're killing,
Mm.
whatever. So, and I was starting to kind of feel the same way I did with Shadows, where it's like I was all about the stealth until after a while I'm like, the stealth is taking too long. I'm just going to go in here and start killing stuff.
Right.
And I was starting to get that same feel with this a little bit, but I felt the stealth in this and the assassinations were a lot more fun, especially when you start getting there's a particular weapon that you can start doing assassinations from a distance.
Ooh.
And that was really fun to use. And then you unlock a skill where it's like you start out just doing like the one assassination, but then you can chain it into 2 assassinations, and then you can chain it into 3 assassinations. So now I'm looking for like groups of people, and I'm like, all right, 3 of you here, I'm taking all of you out. So
that's cool.
It was interesting, especially that late in the game, to still find just like fun ways to take out like little camps or like little groups of people. It's like, all right, yeah, they know what they're doing with this.
Nice.
So yeah, Ghost of Yotei, great game. Definitely check it out if you're interested. My next game, this one's kind of new, and I'm just kind of dabbling with it, but I did pick up V Rising to play on my Portal.
Okay.
V Rising is a crafting / survival / asymmetric camera angle game for you to play, and you're a vampire.
Yeah, like it originally, when it because it spent a bunch of time in like beta or early access or whatever they called it, and it basically looked like Diablo 3 and 4 a little bit, and everyone's like, oh, it's like a vampire Diablo, and then it turns out to be this kind of interesting crafting thing. Like it turns out to be a much different game than I think people were expecting it to be.
So I went into it. I watched like a bunch of videos on it because I'm like, this is right on the edge of, is this actually interesting to me, or is just the concept the idea of it very interesting?
Right.
I still don't have an answer. I've only played like a little bit of it. So, but what happens is there's like just enough story to get you started, and the story is basically vampires used to rule the world. Humans got smart and powerful and almost wiped out vampires, and now whatever's left of vampires are hidden.
Okay.
You are a vampire. You have awoken after sleeping for like 200 years from your super sleep. And now you are super weak because you haven't fed in forever.
Oh, sure.
And so you just go out into the world from this cave, and you don't have anything. And starting out, you can like hunt animals and stuff. There's like animals and wolves and stuff that are all over the place. You can hunt them, you can feed off of them. And then this is where some of the systems start to take off, because, all right, you have this red bulb that's full of red liquid. That is your blood meter.
Okay.
When that slowly starts to go down, if you think of it as like your thirst meter or whatever, as you keep playing, that will slowly start to go down. I don't know 100% what happens if that goes empty. I'm assuming nothing great because you're a vampire. But as you're fighting these animals, you start to notice that, oh, hey, underneath the health bar of the animal, there's a percentage. And what I found out was, if I fed on like a deer, I got that deer's blood in me, which the deer's blood has certain bonuses, and those bonuses are based on how, I don't even know what they called it, but I guess like how strong fortified the blood is.
Oh, okay.
So if you get 9%, there's like certain markers where it's like, okay, at level 1, you just regenerate health, and that's all that happens.
Okay.
But as you get the higher, I guess like the purity of the blood, you get a higher purity rating, you start to get more bonuses based off of the blood that you've consumed.
Because you got that better blood.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But the blood from the deer is different from the blood of the wolf.
Mm-hmm.
And the blood of the wolf is different from the blood of a human.
Right.
Because humans are broken up into basically D&D classes.
Oh,
Where
okay.
it's like, hey, I just sucked the blood of this human, and he had 12% warrior blood. So now I have 12% warrior blood, and I do more damage on my attacks.
Oh, interesting.
So there's this whole weird thing that you kind of, and I'm super early enough where I can't really pay attention to any of that because I'm like, look, I am dying here. I don't care
Right.
if you're 2% bear blood. I need the blood.
Right.
So you're running around, you're weak. You start, it's like the normal crafting thing of, hey, I hit a tree with my hand. I have a pile of wood. What can I do with this?
Mm-hmm.
And the first real resource that you get is like bones, because you're fighting like all these skeletons and stuff. And the bones you can turn into weapons. There's a sword, there's a mace, there's an axe, and a spear and a bow.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, all right, cool. Let me craft a sword. And I get that. And each item that you equip, weapons and armor, have a gear level. And that is how you level up in this game.
Okay.
Your character doesn't earn experience, you just have a gear level. And that gear level determines how well you're going to be able to fight against certain things. And of course, right off the bat, I find this really cool looking monster. I forget what it's called. It was like a it looks like a pile of corpses, and it was called a corpse something.
Oh, okay.
And it was just laying there, and I'm like, huh, that's weird. And as I walk by it, this thing picks itself up and starts dragging itself across the ground.
Geez.
It's got like this giant maw, and I see it's like level 36, and I'm like, I am level 1.
Right. I gotta go, man.
This is not gonna work. So I go running away from that, and of course I wasn't paying attention to the fact that this game does have a day-night cycle, and there is a sundial for you to pay attention to.
Sure, because you're a vampire.
And the sun
right.
came out. Yep. And you get a few moments, like 2 to 3 seconds in the sun, before you start to see like this beam, like it's a magnifying glass on an amp, basically. This beam starts to focus in on you, and then you start taking massive amounts of damage if you stay in the sun. The best part is, at least right now, I'm in a wooded area. So it's like any form of shade whatsoever resets that sun indicator.
Okay.
So as long as I find the tiniest pixel of shade and I step into it, it will reset the thing, and all is good.
Okay. Interesting.
The thing you have to worry about is when it is daytime and you are fighting something and you accidentally cut down the trees around you that are giving you shade.
Oh no. Whoops.
Yeah. So daytime is not great, but it is doable. But I am at a point right now where on the top of this hill, there's certain areas on the map that you can go to, because the first thing it tells you is go build a base. All right, cool. And it tells you, hey, on the map there are areas, only these specific areas that are shown. Can you build a base at? I'm like, cool. Let me go check these out. The first one I go to, there's another corpse thing in there, and I'm like, that's not happening.
Yeah, no thank you.
I go to the other one, and there's like a level 18 bear and a golem, like a stone golem that doesn't have a level. There's just a skull next to its health bar.
Also not going to work?
Yeah, and I'm like, but the thing is, though, I was like, all right, I need to build a base, because like I've gone to 3 different locations to build one, and all of them have something that is like a way higher level than I am. So I don't know if I just went into the wrong area or what, but every place is a screw job. So it's like, I might as well just pick one. The one that I picked had a bear and had a stone golem. Now, I get around the bear because at night the bear sleeps, and it gets like the little Z's above its head, so you can see that it's passed out. It was like, cool, just don't hit it, and you can run right by it and you're fine. The golem, what happens with it is it just looks like boulders sitting on the ground until you get close, and then it pops itself out of the ground, and then it starts chasing you.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, all right. I was going back and forth, and I was figuring out what is its range that it's going to aggro me. I found that out, and I started building my little house. So I put down my little floor parts. I've got my walls up, so that way I know, hey, don't go past this wall, because that's where the golem's at. The golem is perfectly fine with me on my side. He leaves my stuff alone. It's like,
That's right.
cool. one day I will kill you. I just won't. It won't be anytime soon. So I now have a coffin, and the crap thing is, it's great that I have a coffin now because you go there. That's how you basically set your respawn point, and it protects you from the sun, which is great because even though I built a floor and walls, I don't have a roof. I can't build a roof right now.
Sure.
Excuse me. So there is a thing. It's called a like a mist brazier or something like that, where you feed it bones and it will spew out like a fog, and this protects you from the sun. And the game has you build one within your little house thing. I haven't used it at all because I have pillars, so I just hide behind the pillars next to my workshop so I can hide in the shadows and then just build stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing too. This game does not pause. It's constantly running. So there have been several times where I've been looking and digging through a chest, and all of a sudden I just start taking sun damage. I'm like, oh my god, I need to get out of here. So, but yeah, that's currently where I'm at with this game. There is I forget what they call it. There's it's not even, I guess there's like a guidance where like V blood is the thing that you're tracking to get powerful. And the first one that you get is like a wolf that you can tell once you go into the menu for that. You click on the wolf and it will start to track for you. Hey, the wolf is in this general direction, and it'll just tell you like it's either close, far, very far, or very, very far.
Okay.
So, all right, cool. I tracked the wolf. I was able to hunt it down and kill it, and now I have this wolf form, which allows me to run faster. But you can't attack in the form, and you still take sun damage, which sucks.
Okay.
But now there's another one. Now that I've beaten the wolf, I have that. I'm like, cool. I'm already at a crafting wall, basically, where I can build weapons with copper, but I can't build armor with copper because I need leather. And I can go fight bandits and maybe raid their camp for leather, but I can't make it myself. So I pulled up the V blood menu, and I look, and one of the other people that I can go after right now, they allow, once you've beaten them, they allow you to make armor now for crafting.
Oh, cool.
Or, I'm sorry, leather for crafting. So I'm like, all right, let me try to track this individual. And it's not just crafting stuff. Certain ones, like it'll show up on the screen here that is currently streaming. There's like spells and stuff that you can learn from taking out these people as well. And they're not all people. Like I said, there was a wolf that I took out. Now I have a wolf form. There's other people, vampires. At the very, very top, there is Dracula.
Okay. Wow.
I don't know why.
Just going all the way. All right.
I guess. So the idea is you're just supposed to craft up your place and get yourself all set up, take on the next boss, or try to find a way to take on the next boss. You'll get something else that you can either start building or something that will help make something easier to craft. And that seems to be the ebb and flow of the game. It's just between crafting and just getting resources and then fighting these bosses and trial and error with them.
That seems cool.
So I was like, all right, cool. I will give this a shot. I'm playing on the PlayStation 5 right now. This is kind of I'm laying in bed with my Portal, trying to sleep kind of thing. So this is what I've been using. It is also on PC. It is originally meant to be like a PvE VP game where you were fighting other people and enemies.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't want to deal with that at all. You can make it so that way it is just a single player server, or you can make the PvE VP server.
Interesting.
And I watched a video on that because I'm like, well, how bad is that gonna be?
Yeah, like what does that really mean?
Yeah, it's bad.
That was not not the answer I was expecting.
It's not like it's a cool idea. It is not for me.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like Arc Raider, or not Arc Raiders. I'm sorry. Arc, the other online game.
Oh,
that
right.
you can
The dinosaur one.
Yeah. Yes. Same exact concept where you can sit here and build your Dracula style castle, but other people can go raid your castle, and other people can destroy your castle.
Yeah, I don't know if
And
that's
guess
for
what?
me.
Just because you're not in the game anymore doesn't mean that the server isn't still running.
So they could invade while you're
So,
not playing.
uh-huh.
Hmm.
And you can set
Interesting.
up traps and stuff like that within your castle and stuff like that. But I'm like, I just want to check the game out. Like, I
Yeah,
am
like
not going to be sitting
that's
here playing Death Tower and setting up all these traps and
yeah,
stuff for
exactly. Like
everybody.
I don't want to play Dungeon Keeper here at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe in the future, when I have more time, that'll be more interesting. But for right now, I'm just like, you know what? I kind of like the idea of this game right now. Let me just get a
Yeah.
feel for it and
Right.
see how everything goes. So that's where I'm at with this game. It has been interesting to play. I do have issues because the right thumbstick, it it doesn't control your camera at first. You have to hit L2 as a modifier, and then
Oh,
you can
weird.
control it as the camera.
Okay.
But you're using the right thumbstick as just your aiming reticle for spells and stuff.
Oh,
And I'm like,
okay.
but it's like I kind of want it the other way because if I have to
Yeah.
already hold down R2 as a modifier, I might as well be able to hit a button and aim. It's weird and I
Yeah.
can't change it, but
That's
it kind of
surprising.
sucks
That's a
for that.
bummer.
It is, but there are tons of options that you can change game wise for your own server when you're setting up a solo server.
Hmm.
And you can set up a private server as well and invite like just certain people into that server as well, both on
That's
console
cool.
and PC. So you can go through and you can modify the stats like, oh, you have like resources drop at an increased rate, enemies have less or more health, you deal less or more damage kind of thing. So you
Oh,
can go
okay.
through and customize
That's
everything
nice.
stats wise for this game. So I think I'm just playing it on normal. Like
Hmm.
I just picked a normal instead of customizing stuff. I was like, all right, let's get a feel for this and see what happens.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. It
Seems
plays good
cool.
on the Portal. Like it's just taken a little bit to get used to. I did attempt to find this other thing that is very, very far away. That's all I have to go off of, this other boss that I'm trying to fight. And I managed to get stuck in a mine and killed by bandits. Oh, and then when you die, this is a setting that you can adjust as well. But normally when you die, you drop all of your stuff.
You have to go do like a
And
corpse run.
and you
Okay.
have 45 minutes to get back to your corpse or else all your stuff just disappears.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Now,
Yikes.
you can adjust
That's
it
nice.
so that way you don't drop anything, or you can increase or decrease the time for you to get back to your corpse.
Oh, interesting.
So,
Okay.
um right now, because I'm not going very far because I'm running around with a stick. Like I'm not a threat to
Right.
anybody right now.
Yeah.
So 45 minutes is time enough to get from my coffin at a respawn to what, maybe the quarter mile away I was from my
Right.
castle, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a big deal now, but the map is pretty big, so it could become a problem as I continue playing this game.
Hmm.
So yeah, V Rising, it's interesting concept, and it's so far been a nice night game to just kind of lay in bed and be like, all right, I'm tired, but I don't necessarily want to try hard, you
Right.
know?
I want to do some
So
Dracula crafting.
yeah, my next. Well, actually, you know what? I'll save this one. I have been playing Hell is Us, but I'm not too far into it.
Oh, okay.
Like, I literally played like maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes of it.
Oh,
So
okay.
I will talk more about that next week. So my last game for this week is Deep Rock Galactic Survivors.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Um, I didn't really play any of that. No, I played a little bit of it this week, but I was really fighting the good fight this week, so like I didn't play a bunch, and what I did play was really like I'm at a real point here at the game where I think I just need to get back into focusing on the masteries, sort of like starting with the weapon masteries and doing all of
Yeah.
that stuff, and really getting those increases and getting those bonuses to kind of try to keep building up here. I did on one run. I got a another legendary piece of gear and looked at the stats and it was sort of like, okay, like that doesn't seem like it's gonna break the game in a way that I kind of don't remember specifically what the gear was, and I didn't even take a screenshot of it because I was like, that's fine. Like it's not like one of those ones where you're like, oh, this breaks the game wide open. We're doing it. It's one of those ones where it's like, it's fine. It's okay.
So I was finally able to beat Gate 1. I don't know how, but it happened.
But by God, I did it.
Yeah. And that gave me the ability to get into weapon mastery.
Good.
So at this point, the only thing I have available to run is the base weapons for each of the classes.
Right.
And I have gone through and done all of them except for the last one for the next class up for the gunner that starts with the Bulldog Heavy Revolver. That gun sucks.
That's a rough start, man. Like there's no two ways about it. That's a rough start to a run.
And I am starting to realize that I also really hate the Dragonaut twin or the Dreadnought twins.
Oh my God, they're the worst.
Specifically, and I don't know if you guys talked. I'm sure you guys have. I don't know if you talked about it on the main show here at all. But what happens is you get 2 Dreadnoughts at the same time, and if you drop either one of their health down far enough, they become invincible for a brief moment. They get together and they basically absorb health from each other until they're both evened out.
Right.
And then they go back to attacking you.
Yep.
And the thing that sucks is one of them is constantly shooting like these globs of like lava at you, like magma
from a distance.
And a lot of times when those land and blow up, little swarms of enemies come out of those. Meanwhile, the other one, the purple one, is constantly chasing you and can either dash forward and ram you or jump obscenely far on top of you.
And land on you. Yep.
Yeah. So you're dealing with both of those. And it wasn't a problem with the other, because I ran across them a couple times doing the other masteries. But with this revolver, it's like I'm not doing any damage.
No,
really. Because this entire time too, while you're running around trying to shoot them, there's tons of little things running around that you're also killing. And after a while, once the dreadnoughts show up, every couple of moments everything gets stronger.
Yeah, they're like all the enemies level up over time.
Yeah. So then it just gets to a point where it's like, okay, there's so many of them and I'm doing damage, but I'm not killing them.
Right.
And because there's so many little enemies around, even with the piercing that I have, like I can see where the bullet's going by watching the numbers hit every single thing behind it.
Exactly, right.
But I'm not hitting the big things that I need to kill because I'm focusing on all the tiny little things running around. So it's like, all right,
well, and the foreman is like, because it's not like Risk of Rain where it has a smooth curve on the difficulty. Once you hit enemy, it takes a long time to hit enemy rank 1, but then once you do that, it speeds through the ranks super fast. So like you're getting alerts and the foreman is like, you better watch out, Minor, those bugs are pissed. It's just like, yeah, cool, I know. They're at level 7 and there's a bajillion of them and now I can't kill them fast enough and I have these 2 things spitting stuff at me and this one like now has a different attack because I've gotten their health low enough and they're sharing health. Oh, this is super great. And it's just like, oh my God, this got so out of control immediately.
Pretty much. So I'll have to figure something out for that gun. But I was able to get all the other ones,
nice.
Completing one run with them.
A lot of the rest of them are really easy.
And it looks like, because when I did the first run, it shows you the weapon at the end, and then it shows like these little pips at the bottom. Yes. And I can't remember if there was like 4 or 5 of them at the bottom. But after beating it the first time, 2 of the pips have lit up.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. If I go back and redo that mastery, do I unlock more pips, or do I have to wait for another version of the mastery to open up?
It took me forever to Google this, so I will answer this for you. The answer is no. So the pips at the bottom of the screen are the highest hazard you have cleared that mastery on. You get
Okay.
nothing above and beyond, like the deep core GL7 or whatever, that base, the beginning weapon. You don't get anything above and beyond the 12% bonus. So what I thought, based on this pips, is like, oh man, I'm going to unlock Hazard 2. I'll clear it again. Maybe I'll get 12 more percent. No.
That's what I was thinking.
It's really just like, how high can you clear a thing on the mastery? And then there's an achievement for clearing. You get an achievement for like clearing the deep core on Hazard 5. You get for M1000 on Hazard 5. So like, if you really want what I'm going to assume is one of the hardest difficulty, or one of the most difficult things in this game, you can go through and clear these weapon masteries at, you know, the highest difficulty, which I probably will not be doing.
No, it's a good thing I don't enjoy tracking achievements or trophies a whole lot. So.
It's made even easier in a game like this because there's like 300 achievements, so it's like, cool, if I don't have a handful of them, that's fine.
But the cool thing is, though, is now that I've unlocked Hazard Level 2, I have gone through and I played one, because I basically went through and did all the masteries except for I did one run for that heavy revolver. I'm like, this gun sucks. I will come back to this later, maybe. So that I played one regular map on Hazard 2, and right when it opens up, I'm just plowing through things. I'm like, this is good. Okay, I finally hit the crest of the hill.
Right.
It's like, all right, you've got a bump in power.
Right.
So now you're wasting everything. And then the game continues, and I have to fight the twin dreadnoughts again, and that took a little bit of running around and doing. So, outside of that, though, I haven't done a whole lot more. I was just trying to get through that gate because I think I ran that first gate like 2 or 3 times and finally got it on the 3rd time.
It's pretty tough.
But it was all it was all kind of the same thing of I would get to the dreadnought coming out, but there's just so many things on the map that it's like I'm just running circles, and sometimes the circles are really big and sometimes they're really tight depending on if I need experience points or not. So.
Well, and some of the like once you hit that first gate, and then for the rest of the stuff in the game, you're going to be running into levels and gates that have more and more difficult modifiers on them. So like the lava level after gate 1 just permanently has more lava on the ground, which doesn't sound that bad until you realize that the lava does a ton more damage. And you know, this level before used to be fine, but now it's really rough because every enemy does 25% more damage for every run you do on that stage. So it's like, all right, we're getting pretty serious here. This is getting intense.
And I have been saving, now that I see it on your stream, I have been saving my supply drops for when the dreadnoughts show up.
Yeah, and squishing the boss.
It's going to do that quarter of health, and it's also going to clear out a ton of things in that area.
Yep.
So it's a real lifesaver to just let that sit there until you absolutely need it.
Yeah.
But yeah, outside of that, though, I've just been running around. I've gotten some upgrades, nothing major. Gotten some new items that I've just equipped and then sold the old stuff so I can get some of the items and stuff. But the mastery was really the big unlock that I've gotten. The gate and the mastery have been like the only big unlocks that I've achieved so far.
Have you done the gate yet for escort, or were you doing it for elimination?
Just for elimination.
Okay.
I believe it is. I believe I am available to do it for escort. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, because both of those are gated. Both of those are gated separately, which I thought was pretty interesting.
I think I needed to do. I think there's one map that I'm missing, like one of the little nodes,
like one of the challenges or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I think I was waiting to mess with that before I did the next gate. So. But yeah, that's all I've done for this game. So.
This game is great. I didn't play as much this week as I usually do, because I just was not feeling up to playing something. I was up to playing something similar to this, but not specifically this, and it wasn't. I was running into problems with. We'll talk about some of the stuff I'm really excited for on the PC space and the news stories this week, but my Steam Link was having a lot of troubles with this game. Like, it was having inconsistent frame rate issues. And with a game like this, that is sort of the thing that's going to kill you and make you a little bit nauseous. So I did like 1 or 2 runs, and I'm like, I can't deal with this, especially when I'm not feeling well. Like, I can't deal with the choppiness here, so I didn't play too much of this, but it's still great. I really would love it if it was on PS5, because I would start it back on PS5 without any hesitation to kind of play it on that console. So
this game is a huge reason why I'm looking at getting a Steam Deck. One of the huge reasons I'm looking at getting a Steam Deck, because I did have that thought too while I was playing V Rising in bed. It's like, man, I wish I could play this.
Yeah, I could just play DRG Survivor laying in bed. Like, it's the perfect thing. Yeah.
But, yeah. You know, a man can dream.
That's right. That's right. I just have 2 quick updates for my other games. I did play a bunch of Halls of Torment this week. So, like,
nice.
Playing the PS5 version runs super smooth. This was, like, a bullet-heavy game like this is really great when you're not feeling well, because you just got to choose one of 4 things. You're just choosing your class, and then you're just trying not to die. So, like, it's a pretty good balm for what ails you. I am happy to report that after, I don't know when it happened, because unfortunately consoles don't let you look at patch notes for games anymore, which sucks.
Yeah, that was a weird thing I discovered too a couple weeks ago.
I still hate that, man. Like, the PS4 having patch notes was really great, of just like, I shouldn't have to go to the Steam forums for the game to see what the patch notes of the PS4 or PS5 version of this game is. Like, that sucks, man.
I wonder if it was a developer thing too, because I know after a while, like, even the patch notes that you could see on the PlayStation, it just said fixed issues.
Yeah, bug fixes and improvements. It's like, stop it.
Yeah, exactly.
So they have put out a couple of patches over the last week or so, and it seems one of those patches has resolved whatever crashing problems I ran into earlier. So I played this most of this week and haven't crashed at all. So that was like my really only big issue with this at launch. It seems like they've ironed it out. If they haven't, I haven't run into it at all. So I'm going to assume that it's been resolved at this point. I'm about halfway through the whole square grid at this point. It has like 526 squares on it total. It tells you at the bottom of the square grid. I'm at like 250-ish. I think it's like 256 or something like that. So I'm way in there.
Just playing through the fever dream.
Pretty much, yeah. And like, the thing that's really cool about the square grid is the deeper you get into it, the more of an XP bonus you get permanently. So like, I'm at the point where I'm about halfway through the square grid. I think it's like 77% extra XP just permanently.
Oh, nice.
And the more squares you clear out, the more bonus XP you get. And it makes a really big difference, where at the beginning of the game, you're maybe finishing a run at like level 30, 35. I'm finishing a run now at this point, the same 30-minute run at level 80 something. So like, it's making a huge difference at this point.
Cool.
I've now unlocked agony difficulty for all of the stages. So how agony works is you clear your first stage, and there's a new like stone thing that spawns in the camp, and you interact with it, and it says, all right, agony mode isn't available until you beat the Lord, which is the 30-minute boss of each of the stages. And once you do that, you go to agony mode, which is a scaling difficulty version of this, and as the level gets more difficult, you get more enemies spawn that have more health, but you get more experience, and there are more champion enemies that drop scrolls that will either give you a skill, like a magic attack or a summon or something like that. And those will drop more of the skill upgrades. So it's like if you're shooting the lightning ball thing, you'll upgrade that every time you level up. But if you get one of the upgrades, the lightning ball will start following enemies and kind of changing its trajectory to hit more enemies than just shooting out in front of you, that sort of thing. Okay. So you have more opportunities to level up that stuff. That's the mode I've been playing the majority of the time, because the base game is difficult, but I like agony mode, and I remembered how much I liked it originally, of just the better you do and the further you get, the harder the stage is. And if you're really running into trouble and you're not killing stuff fast, it does pull back the difficulty, but it goes up to Agony 5, which reminds me a lot of Diablo's, what were the levels? Torment levels?
Yeah, the Torments.
Where, the higher you get, the better drops you're getting, that stuff. There is 2 special sets of gear that drops only on agony mode, and you can't send it up the bucket to the camp. It's basically more powerful versions of gear you already have, and sometimes it's the gear you have equipped. So maybe if this gear says like for every 1 point of movement speed you have, it gives you half a point of damage additionally. The evolved version of that is for every 1 point of movement speed you have, you get 1 point of damage. So it's kind of the same gear, just more powerful, but you can't send it back to the camp to buy permanently. You can only keep it and use it for that run. So there's some kind of benefits there. The other thing, too, with Agony that I didn't realize, because I must have stopped playing this for We Roguelike It just right before I got to this point. In each character class's square grid, because there's a square grid for each level, there's a square grid for each character class, and then there's a bunch of miscellaneous ones of like, walk 1,000,000 steps over every game, do 2 billion damage over all your runs, the sort of overall progression stuff. There's one node for everybody that's like, reach Agony level 3 while playing this character in a specific stage. So it'll be like, you have to be the archer in the Forgotten Aqueduct and reach level 3. It's brand new and I had no idea, or I never ran into it before, but basically what that does is that unlocks a mark for that character class, and other character classes can equip that mark and have that class. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you got the mark for the archer. You can play the swordsman and equip the archer's mark, and archer skills and archer upgrades are going to show up in your list of 4 things you can pick when you level up, alongside all of the other stuff. So you can kind of almost mix 2 classes at the same time.
Okay.
Which is really cool, and I'm sure people have a list out there of like, oh, you got to play the swordsman with the exterminator, and that's the best
multi classes. And
yeah, exactly. I haven't seen any of that because I'm just starting to unlock them, but it's kind of cool of like, oh, I'm playing as an archer, and I have the exterminator's mark on, so it's all about like doing fire damage and burn damage. I'm going to take the piece of gear with me. I'm going to change my loadout. I'm going to take the ring or whatever with me that changes my weapon damage to fire, and then I'm kind of synergizing that whole stuff together, and that was a very fun run.
Nice.
So like you can kind of see where as you start unlocking more stuff and as you start doing more stuff in the game, that you're getting more and more of this interesting kind of build crafting stuff unlocked. And then now that I'm starting to clear agony mode on these stages, I'm getting, I think they're called artifacts that drop at the when I do a successful agony run, and those are modifiers on that run specifically, where it's like you take 50% damage, 50% less damage, as long as you have the gold to pay for it. Or like the run is 10 minutes shorter, but enemies are 50% stronger and there's 30% more of them. And it's like, wow, okay, interesting. So like we saw this a lot in Risk of Rain 1 and 2, where you're kind of putting modifiers in your run like that. So it's kind of cool to see that over here too. So I'm going to keep sticking with it because I have been having a lot of fun with it. Now I'm getting deeper and deeper in the square grid. I'm kind of seeing these interesting challenges of like the one archer challenge I just did the other day is from the start of the level, do not move for 180 seconds. And I was like, that's easy. It's 3 minutes. And it's like 2.5 minutes in. It's like, nope, here's 2 bosses that just spawned. What are you going to do? And it's like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do because I can't move
if it can last
at
30
all.
more seconds. Yeah.
Yeah. And the answer to that was, I'm going to die and resurrect twice because I've leveled up the resurrection skill and barely eke out that thing. But I got a pretty big bonus from it, which is really great. I do have to say, especially after playing this a lot this week, I think my only complaint with this game is, and I talked about it a little bit before, is when you're playing these levels, the real goal is fighting the Lord at the 30-minute mark. So the run starts at 30 minutes, it counts all the way down. At 0, the big boss spawns. It's usually a multi-phase thing. There are no enemies on the field whatsoever. It despawns all the enemies. It's just you and the boss. If you complete the little puzzle in each of the stages, it gives you some great benefit for the boss. Like in the first stage, if you find the 2 halves of the talisman, when you fight the boss, during each of its phases, the talisman takes half of the health off of that boss. Just outright. On the 4th stage, when you find the little thing and you beat the boss does this really annoying spinning attack that's really fast. The talisman will zap the boss and it stops them from spinning and stuns them for a couple of seconds.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so like each stage has one of those things. Because of how many runs I'm doing, I'm kind of a little bit annoyed at the necessity for every run needing to have that thing. So like every time I'm running the first stage, I have to go do that because like, especially on agony difficulty, why am I going to make the boss harder for myself when I can just spend a couple of minutes doing this thing and getting the talisman versus duking out with the boss when a boss with half health is hard enough. So like that gets a little bit annoying. It's never super annoying to go do it, but it's sort of like, all right, I'm just gonna follow these bloodstains, build a talisman. Okay, I did it, yay! Like I can go do the rest of the run. So that's really my only complaint. But like, I don't know how you resolve that other than like the boss just has 50% less health now, which is not the solution. So that's my only real complaint at that point. The only other game I have played this week is I finished up Dispatch. I did not stream that this week. I put that out on my YouTube channel only, so you can catch that over there. I had a blast playing this. I am really happy. I'm obviously not going to spoil the ending or anything. I'm showing some...
everything? All the episodes have been released already, or are you just caught up?
No, all 8 episodes are out now. So the full full dispatch has completed here.
Gotcha.
I'm not going to spoil anything because it's a story-based thing, and it's still brand new. I also on screen I'm showing episode 2 here, so it's very early. I'm really, really happy with how this game wrapped up. From the like dispatch mini game thing, they kind of turned it on its head a little bit, where in episode 7, because your whole squad is super leveled up, and so are you as Robert. Like it was fairly easy to just knock out a shift and be like, okay, cool, that's done. But in episode 8, they kind of flip it around a little bit and make it considerably harder, in a way that left me feeling like I was kind of scrambling the whole shift, which I think from a storyline and gameplay perspective, it married really nicely, the two of those. Because, like I said, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, I was starting to feel like, okay, the dispatch stuff is cool, but like I've leveled everybody up, so like, okay, like it's not really difficult anymore. Yeah. So that felt really great that at the end they made it really difficult in a fun but kind of manageable way. And from a storyline perspective, super happy about where everything went. I thought the story wrapped up really nicely. I thought my choices felt like they really mattered the whole way through. Like, obviously, it's going to be the same ending for everybody. Like, it's not a video game where it's like one of 50 endings. But I felt like how the story played out reflected my choices throughout all of the episodes, including episode 8. It wasn't really just like, well, now watch the ending, no big deal. So I thought that was super cool. I think there's a lot of variations in the game, which, again, I really want to go back and play through more of it just to make the other choices and see how that stuff goes. But I was really happy, and I was very happy at the end. It's not a spoiler, but at the end credits, they give you kind of your summary for the entire game. You know, the old Telltale, like, 48% of other players did this, and, you know, one of my stats of variant was 4% of other players, and you made this choice. And I was like, oh, man, come on, man.
Those people.
Yeah, and I was like, come on, man, I made the right choice. So that was really cool to see kind of all of your decisions across all of the episodes, like, really mattered and really did make a difference. And I'm also really happy that they came out with all of them 2 a week for a month, and they nailed the schedule and they nailed all of the stuff. Like, none of the stuff felt janky. Like, all of it worked the entire time. I ran into no frame rate issues. I ran into no bugs. The game looked incredible the whole way through. There's some stuff at the end where there's just a ton of characters and a ton of action happening on the screen, and it was all super smooth the whole time. Like, it's technically a very, very impressive game. So
I wonder if moving over to the new engine helped them with that, because when they announced this game and they're like, oh yeah, we're doing episodic again, I was really worried because of how everything else had come before. Like, they weren't bad games, but you could tell they were running off of an old engine at the time that needed love. Yeah,
and they were struggling, like, not only from an engine perspective, but from like a budget and a scheduling perspective of like, oh, you're gonna release episodic, okay, cool, oh, this one's late, yep, episode 2's late, yep.
But to be perfectly honest, though, like, a lot of the stuff that they did release, I was like, you guys could have told me, hey, you're getting like 2 episodes a month. Like, cool,
great.
You know,
even
it's like,
one
it doesn't
episode
have
a
to be
month.
weekly. It's like, it doesn't have to be weekly.
Yeah, and like, that's what I really liked about Dispatch is you got 2 episodes a week. And I would still maybe recommend people play like 1 episode at a time in a sitting instead of like really try and knock out all 8 episodes. Because like each one is an hour long at most. The episode 8 turned out for me to be just a little bit over an hour and a half. But even that felt like the last episode of a season, you know, like it felt like the big finale. And like that having a very clear-cut ending to an episode felt really great. And it felt more like a TV show than I think a lot of other Telltale stuff did. So I feel like they kind of nailed it across the board on all of that stuff. My one recommendation for people that are going to play it now that the whole thing is out is when you're watching the credits for the game, which another reason why I want to go through and play it again is I had to turn the licensed music off because I was streaming it. I want to play back through and turn that back on just to see like what licensed music is in here, because the soundtrack by itself was really good. So like what did I miss? But when you get all your decisions displayed on screen and the credits, you can either hit, I think it's like square to go to the next episode immediately, or circle to go back to the menu. I really recommend people hit circle to go back to the menu, because the main menu graphic changes between each episode.
Oh, nice.
And it's not the biggest thing, but like it's a cool thing that I think if you weren't playing this episode by episode or like week over week, I think you might miss. And some of those are kind of fun, of like a place you don't get to see in the SDN offices, or like one of those things of like, what exactly am I looking at? And you find out 30 minutes later in the middle of that episode, and you're like, oh, okay, that's fun. I kind of saw the beginning of this thing they were showing me. So, yeah. I'm really happy with Dispatch. I think it's really... my biggest recommendation is, if you liked the stuff that Telltale did, if you liked that style of game, if you liked This Is the Police 1 and 2, if you like some of the like modern day adventure game stuff like the Life is Strange series, you're probably going to like Dispatch, unless you really hate superhero stuff. But at the end of the day, this isn't really a superhero story. It's just this team of screw-ups that happen
part
to be
of the
superheroes.
Flavor. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't want to talk too much more about it because I don't want to accidentally spoil anything. But that's all I'm playing this week. Let's take a break. I'm ready to be done recording. We had 3 episodes yesterday. I'm pooped.
I know, I saw you guys recording yesterday for a really long time. I was like,
yeah,
Jesus,
we had to
guys.
record 2 Game Club episodes. And a Critical Misses production meeting. So it's kind of like, it's one of those things where, like I was talking to my wife, we're at the point now where we're starting to do double recordings for December and our time off at the December. So like, this is where the kind of like, it's not like a production death march or anything, but it's definitely like, no, I'm really recording and editing and posting a lot more stuff than I did before. So I've already started a checklist because I don't want to forget anything.
Yeah, I've already got our doubles up on the refrigerator calendar of I'm busy extra.
Yeah, I'm busy Sundays. This whole day. Yeah. All right, are you ready for the rest of this?
Yes. Ferror, his arm is doing better.
Yes, my arm is, you can see, proof of life. No longer red. Very pasty and pale like normal.
He's not growing any cool scales or anything.
That's right, sadly. Yeah, give me that like lizard injection or whatever. Like I'll do that. There you
go.
All right, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of November 17th, 2025, starting with Kingdoms of the Dump, coming out on PC, macOS, and Linux. I had never heard about this game before today, but this is a super charming, Super NES style turn-based RPG that the trailer claims is made by actual janitors, and it appears to be you and other characters that look like various trash and recycling bins are off on an epic adventure. I highly recommend people checking out a trailer for this. It looks really charming, and this one seemed to kind of come out of nowhere. So this looks real cool pixel art, and I really love the art style for a lot of this stuff. Who will save the lands of Phil?
Yeah.
Yep. It looks really cool. This is something that I'm gonna add to my my wish list on Steam for sure. It seems very cool. So that's Kingdoms of the Dump. Just Garbage Day is coming. Next up, Marvel's Deadpool VR comes out on some level of Quest platforms. Most places I'm seeing is Quest 3 and Quest 3S. Not entirely sure what that means. I'm not your VR guy. So sorry that I don't know the specifics of all of that. I do have to say, I thought Twisted Pixel, the developers of this, sounded familiar. They are the developers of the Maw and Splosion Man and Miss Splosion Man from XBLA.
Okay.
I was like, oh yeah, I've been wondering what they've been working on. I had no idea. They've been working on a bunch of VR games. So this is the latest in their VR offerings. It looks like a first-person shooter Deadpool thing. I think you kind of can imagine what that is. At this point, it says, gameplay features a mix of parkour and combat, which, based on the trailer, looks a little bit faster than I think I would expect a VR game to look.
I wonder how motion sickness is going to factor in for all of this.
Yeah.
Because it looks fine now on a screen, but...
Right.
God, I haven't touched VR in a long time either, so maybe it's a lot smoother.
Yeah, maybe there's some better tech.
But doing Borderlands 2 in VR, that was rough.
Yeah, that's really rough, yeah. Next game here is SpongeBob SquarePants Titans of the Tide. Comes out PS5, Series Consoles, Switch 2, and PC. Not Switch 1 from everything I'm seeing. It's another SpongeBob third-person action platformer. This trailer features David Hasselhoff pretty considerably, which is really great. I don't know if he's in the game a lot or if that's just a trailer thing, but I think if you've seen any of the SpongeBob platformer stuff over the last couple of years, looks very similar. And like the rest of them, it looks pretty cool. I think it seems like they have made a bunch of really cool platformers here. So that one is coming out this week. Next up, Demon School. All in caps. Don't forget it. PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series Consoles, PC, macOS, and Linux. Finally coming out after many delays and then the Silksong delay. It is now finally coming out. It is a turn-based SRPG with kind of smaller playfields. And a very clearly Persona-inspired kind of during the day system of wandering around a school and making friends and classes and things like that. It looks really cool. I've been watching this game for a couple of years now, and I'm really excited to get my hands on it. I'm gonna play it on stream this week and see how it goes. But this seems incredibly my jam, and I think it looks really cool. Do you think you're gonna check this out?
Not day one, but it is on my list of games to check out.
Yeah.
Because I've been, as soon as they were like, it's an SRPG that's kind of influenced by Persona, I was like, okay. And
you have my attention. All right. You're doing it. So I think it looks really cool, and I think everything they've shown of it has looked really, really interesting. So I've been trying to keep kind of out of the loop of it for a while because I don't really want to get super spoiled about it, but I'm real excited to try this out this week. So that's
And of
Demon
course, it's
School.
got fishing.
I know. As soon as I saw the fishing, I was like, "Man, are you going to tell me I'm going to build a town now too? Because like you just have my number on everything."
Maybe.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Next game up here, Kirby Air Riders comes out on the Switch too. This is definitely one of those games where they got announced, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, it's cool. It's like a Kirby. There's another Kirby racing game. Cool. Or Kirby Air Riders. Been a while since we've seen one of those. I feel like every time they have a direct of these where it's like, yeah, we did a 90-minute direct on Kirby Air Riders, they show something new that's completely bananas. And I just like, one of these guys is like hopping between dimensions, like Ratchet and Clank style during a race, and I'm like, I don't even know what's going on anymore in the world of video games or not. Like, this is completely bananas. So we'll see. I don't know. People seem real excited about it. And it looks really cool. So hopefully it
Which is really
well.
funny because I've heard a lot more commotion over this than the last time Mario Kart 8 was released.
Right.
So
yeah. Everyone was like,
they gotta be
okay,
doing
Mario
something.
Kart, sure.
Yeah.
But I think it also helps that Sakurai is directing this one as well. And I think
he's always super excited about what he's working on. So.
Yeah, and I think after Smash, when he was like, hi, I'm burnt out, publicly burnt out on making these games. I'm super tired of this. I think people were like, well, that's probably the end of him making this stuff. But he's still back at it. He's still doing it. He's still doing super long directs. God bless him. So
he's always there for Kirby.
That's right. We're all always there for Kirby. And last but not least, Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl comes out on PS5. I had forgotten this wasn't out on PS5 quite yet. And now it's out. This is one of those games that I feel like had so much hype surrounding it when it was ready to get released. And then it came out, and everyone was like, yeah, it's Stalker 2. If you like Stalker 1, it's the Stalker 2. And I was like, oh, okay. Does that mean it's good? And everyone was like, well, I mean,
it's a Stalker game.
It's Stalker. And I was like, okay, sure. I think I understand, but I think you're all enjoying it. So
yeah, I have this for the Xbox. I just haven't gotten around to it because we moved my Xbox into our bedroom so my wife could watch Blu-rays. So I haven't had access to my Xbox in a while.
Well, and I feel like you have to be in a specific mood for the kind of difficulty for Stalker too, right?
Yeah. This one they've eased up. Well, I won't say eased up. There's a lot of quality stuff in here, but it's still a difficult game. Because if you've played any of the originals, even the re-releases of the originals that came out earlier this year or late last year, they're still a game of their time.
So, sure. Right.
This one kind of brings it into a more modern view set, and is very interesting. And also, I had found out, too, that the console versions of this game, so at least the Xbox, and I'm assuming it's going to be true for the PS5 version, they have mod support, so you can download mods for the game. Okay. So I mean, if that interests you, there's that to check out too. But yeah, I know it had a real rough launch when it first came out, but it seems, for the few people that I know who really, really love Stalker, it sounds like it did get to a good place, and it's kind of why you haven't heard anyone talk about it, because the diehards are still in their bunkers playing.
Yeah, exactly. They're still playing it after all this time. Yeah. All right, that's releases. Let's talk about our news story for this week. Apologies for how weird this video looks on YouTube. The new YouTube player is really weird right now. I don't know what they're doing over there. Anyways, Valve announced not one, not two, but 3 new pieces of hardware seemingly out of nowhere this week. The kind of friends of Steam Deck that they're kind of calling it at this point. All of this stuff seems to be coming at some point in 2026. There's no real firm release date or prices on any of these. The first one that they announced is kind of the big one. And it's not going to sync up with the video. If you're watching, just play along. The big one that I'm really interested in, which is the Steam Machine. It is seemingly meant to be the under the TV computer. runs Steam OS. They say it's, quote, a roughly 6-inch cube, end quote. So it's a pretty tiny little fella.
Yeah.
And they announced a whole bunch of additional stuff here for Steam Machine. Like, there's a new verification system, like they have one for Steam Deck. They have that little green check where it's like, yeah, we're verified for Steam Deck. They're gonna have one for Steam Machine as well, so it runs well on that machine. Most importantly, it's also just a computer. So if you want to install Linux or Windows or whatever on it, you can also just do that. So it's not this thing of like, it's the same thing like with Steam Deck where they don't care. You want to run Windows 11 on it because you want to play Destiny 2. You can do that. Like they haven't locked it down to just Steam OS. It is built for the new Steam controller we'll talk about next. It's going to be really great for streaming games to your Steam Deck if it doesn't run well on your Steam Deck, that whole thing. They do have specs out right now, and it seems like it's a fairly solid machine, truthfully. I know a lot of people are... I think the biggest thing that struck me on this announcement is if somebody looks at this machine and they say, yes, but I already have ... Steam Machine isn't for you. Like, this is for somebody that's like, oh, thank God. I didn't want to spend $2,000, thanks to tariffs, on a new computer, or I didn't want to have to worry about buying one from somebody or building one or whatever, and I'm not interested in a console.
Or just even trying to troubleshoot PCs.
Exactly. Right.
So
like
you and I are sickos and enjoy doing, but not
right.
everyone else does.
So like the idea of having this small cube that's going to fit under your TV or connect to a monitor or something, it just says HDMI out.
Yeah.
That seems like a really attractive proposition, I think, for a lot of people, especially if they don't want to get into buying a big PC or whatever. Like, I have said for the longest time, I want something like this running SteamOS under my TV to just run DRG Survivor, to just run a bunch of these PC-only things that I want to run. DRG Survivor is also on Xbox, I understand. But, like, to run some of this stuff that I'm outgrowing the Steam Link on, because they're still supporting it, but come on, it's like, you want something that's native, connect directly to your TV. And I could see myself, if this is the right price, you get that like $500-$600 range, I would happily buy this over something like the Switch 2 pretty easily. So it seems really great. They are not announcing price. Like I said, it's 2026 for the release for all of this stuff. But I think this seems cool, and I think with the success of the Steam Deck, it seems like it's probably a really great time for Valve to just be like, okay, we'll just make something that runs SteamOS, and you don't even have to worry about it. And I was like, well, that's pretty great. Thanks. Next one is Steam Controller. It's a brand new layout. It's basically, it's an Xbox controller at the end of the day. So it has that same sort of form factor. But under the sticks, you have the two new touchpads. And they look like they're a little bit bigger. They look like they're in kind of a more interesting place. Will they function as well? I'm not entirely sure, but I like the idea of them continuing to stick to the touchpads for games. One of the more interesting things that they're doing is the Steam Controller Puck. It's a USB dongle with like a cable on it, so it's not just like a small plug-in thing, that enables you to connect the Steam controller to a bunch of different stuff, but it's also a magnetic charger. So you can just slap the controller right on top of that thing and it charges the controller. So I think that's super cool. TMR sticks. So it's the magnetic sticks instead of the the friction ones that get all the drift and everything. And they have grip enabled gyro. So there's two grips on the bottom of it. If you squeeze both of those, that enables gyro if you use gyro in games. So seems cool. I didn't really like the original.
Keep your charge pad clean so that way you're not picking up all kinds of like metal filaments and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I never really clicked with the original controller, so I'm kind of curious to see how this one does after their. I really didn't think they were going to put out another one, so I'm very curious to see what they're going to do iterating on it. But looking at it again, I'm sort of like, man, I don't know. It looks fine, but like, yeah, I don't know. So
it's really funny that the Steam, what do they call it? The Steam machine, the computer, looks to be a third of an Xbox.
Right, and like a tenth of the like PS5. Like it's incredibly small. Like they have the Steam machine right next to one of the new Steam controllers, and it's as wide as the controller is. Like it's a tiny little guy.
I was just thinking, like, fixing wise, everything has to be crammed in there so tight. It's got to be like working on a laptop.
I bet, yeah.
Where it's just a huge pain in the ass to get to anything in there.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see once people start tearing that down. Like, is it? I'm sure you probably can't upgrade the RAM because that's probably soldered on the motherboard.
That was going to be my next question. How much of it can we mess with? You know,
right? And like the specs seem okay. People can look at the specs on the Valve website. But I think it'll be really solid from a spec standpoint. It seems much more powerful than the Steam Deck, which I would hope it would be at this point, especially in like a bigger form factor. But it seems cool. I both of those things seem really neat. The last thing they announced was Steam Frame. It's their brand new VR headset. Much smaller than a lot of the other headset they made. It's a VR and non-VR gaming headset, so you can play stuff in VR and 2D games as well. They have a brand new split controller thing that seems like it's largely a lot like the Steam controller, just kind of split in half. Okay, if you go look at the Valve website for the Steam Frame, they're talking a lot about the improvements that they're making on this over a lot of other VR stuff. That all sounds really cool. I just don't understand a lot of it because they're like, well, we have stereo speakers in both ears and they're pointed the other way so that it doesn't cause interference with the screen. I was like, okay. I mean, that sounds good, but like, sure. And they're like, they increase the fidelity of the picture where your eyes are looking as opposed to the whole picture. And I'm like, okay, cool. That all sounds good, I guess.
Did you guys fix your headset so that people that wear glasses can still wear their glasses while using it?
Hopefully. I don't know if I saw that in the trailers or not. The other more important thing, too, for this is it's also just a PC. So it's a standalone headset. You can connect a wireless dongle into your computer of choice and stream from there. But if you don't have anything, it's just the Steam Frame is also just a PC. So you can just play stuff right. And it runs SteamOS on the Steam Frame on your face. So that's cool. That's a lot of cool hardware. I'm incredibly interested in the Steam machine because that is... I've been looking at like low profile, small computer builds for my computer because I'm like, I just want to play some of this stuff on Steam on my TV without like running an HDMI cable throughout my house and running like a USB cable for a controller and dealing with like Sunshine and Moonlight are really great. Like those are really great pieces of software. I'm just like tired of dealing with them. I would love to just fire up Steam Big Picture, or in this case SteamOS, and just pick a game, have it sync to my cloud stuff, and just start playing and be done with it. And that's really attractive. So
hell, I'm just sitting here thinking, it's like, do I need to build a Steam OS machine now?
So the
Like,
only
is that the
problem,
point we're at now?
the only problem that there is they haven't released SteamOS yet.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Yeah,
But
and like,
it seems like they're getting to that point
yeah,
because SteamOS was a pipe dream for so long.
yep.
And now they're kind of at the point where it's like, no, we have our own operating
Yeah, like all
system
of this
now.
stuff just runs SteamOS, including this VR
Yeah.
headset. Like we got it, man. So like that's
It
my
can't
hope
be any
too.
worse than Windows.
Well, yeah, well, especially like as Windows 11 continues to put even more non-optional AI garbage in it, and like
AI ads, bloat.
right, and like Windows 10, like Windows 11 is really trying to get itself on your computer if you're running Windows 10. It makes something like SteamOS really attractive for a gaming PC because it's just like, yeah, it just boots into Steam and you can tell if this game is going to run or not. I know the problem for SteamOS for non-Valve machines is driver support, and I really hope they get to the point at some point because I think a lot of people would at the very least dual boot, an OS and SteamOS, or just primary boot on their Windows machine. It's like, yep, it's just Steam. This computer's running SteamOS. I don't need anything else. I got my phone for whatever else I need to do on the internet.
Yeah.
I'm just uncluttering this machine with SteamOS. And I think that's really attractive. So I hope they get to that point. It, like you said, it really does seem like this is the next step towards like, okay, SteamOS is running on more than just one thing. Now it's running on 3 things, and they're all very different pieces of hardware. You could see at some point where they're like, cool, a SteamOS desktop beta is out now. Just try running it on your computers and see what happens. So
yeah. And then 2 years from now, I mean, we already have the Steam Deck.
Yep.
So we're not that far from Steam Mobile.
That's right.
You know,
that's right. A Valve phone. Yeah.
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 And then it just all comes back to the Zune. I mean,
that's right. We're making the Zune too. Yep. The other thing too, we were talking about Windows. I think the other really impressive thing is there was no AI stuff in this at all. Like Valve is not dealing with any of that stuff whatsoever. I think because they know it's, number one, not appropriate for any of these devices, but also it's not a thing that the market is really interested in at all. And it was really refreshing to watch one of these things and not have some talking head come up on the screen and be like, and we have a new partnership with Sora, and you can make video games on your face, and they all suck. I
swear they're the only tech company not trying to force AI on people right now.
So, like, I do really appreciate the sad state we're in, where it's like, they didn't announce AI. Yeah, woo, thank you. It's really great. Feywer in chat says, I wonder if the controller will pack in with the Cube. I bet they'll have a bundle once the stuff gets closer to launch of like, here's a Steam machine and 2 Steam controllers, and here's like the whole bundle for you and your family to start playing on the couch. Because I think if they have seen the success of the Switch and seen the success of something like the Portal, I think it's really easy to say, get the family on the couch playing something, and you just push the Steam button on the controller or whatever, and they all just sync naturally, and they all just connect, and player 1, player 2, and we're off and playing games very quickly. Like, it seems like that's a really natural thing for them to start promoting, and I think it would really work, especially because multiple controller PC stuff sucks a lot, in large part because of Windows. But like,
and the fact that no one ever thinks about, unless you've already done it before, it's like, all my monitors are right here. It's meant for me to sit here, not me and somebody else to sit here, kind of thing. So
right. So that's really exciting, and I'm gonna watch all those announcements. Well, not the Steam Frame one that much, because that I'm not interested. But the other 2, I'm going to be watching those pretty closely, and we'll see next year. It's going to say, it's all they're saying is shipping in 2026. So I'm hoping that means the early part of 2026, but we'll see as it gets closer. All right, that's all of our news stories for this week, which means we have reached the end of this episode. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Everywhere to find and follow us is on the right-hand side of the page. Don't forget to join the Discord server, discord.tvgp.tv. Join the coolest community on the internet, the best community on the internet over on the Discord server, and come talk about a bunch of games, and more often, a lot of gross fast food and junk food.
I was gonna say, just open up with, "This is my favorite food. Fight me."
Exactly. We don't have like a welcome channel or anything, but like introduce yourself with your favorite grossest fast food or junk food. That's the way to our hearts.
Like fat poker.
That's right. That's right. Like we mentioned earlier, this is a listener-supported show. If you'd like to support us, you can do so over at e1m1.cash.
The ones are numbers?
The $5 a month tier is a recommended one. That gets you everything. Anything above and beyond that is greatly appreciated. If you can't support us financially, as we'll always say, totally understand. The best ways to support us is follow us, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. I have a video version of all of these shows that hit the public feed over there. So if you want to see us and trailers and gameplay and all that stuff as we're talking about them. Also, the biggest one, please rate us positively on your podcatcher of choice. That really does help, and that helps more people find this show, especially as they find other shows they like. It'll say like, hey, maybe you like the world's longest running consecutive video game show, TVGP. I don't think we're up there, but we're not.
No, Conan's the longest running podcast.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, the first podcast around the world. You're right. You son of a... but that stuff really does help, and that helps discovery a whole bunch. I think that's it. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening. We'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.
All right, what are your titles for this week?
All right, I have Just Running Circles, Balm for What Ails You, Follow Those Bloodstains, 4% and You, and We're Always There for Kirby.
I have The Bittersweet Moments, The Blood of the Wolf, 2% Bear Blood, 4% and You. I like 2% Bear Blood a lot. Originally, it was going to be Blood of the Wolf, because that sounded like an incredible metal song. But 2% Bear Blood is just like, that's a chef's kiss one.
I'm down for that. Yeah, because my only other one was the 4% and You. So, All right, I am ready to go.
All right. Starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 943 for November 17th, 2025. 2% Bear Blood.
Why do I have a rabies stat?
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening, watching, joining us live. Really appreciate it. Thanks so much for your support, and we'll see you all next week. Bye.